Hey. Nothing feels better than a warm hug from you after a long day at work. No, nothing bad happened, but not all families are meant to have a working relationship, if you catch my drift. But hey, you're here now, so everything's fine. Of course. Just seeing you brightens my day, you know that? After nearly 6 months of dating, you're still gonna get flustered every time I show you any form of affection. You're just too cute, aren't you? Come here, you. So, how was your day then? Did you start your new job at the inn yet, or... Oh, a pixie infestation. I thought Penny hired a witch not too long ago to handle that. Useless. What good is magic if you can't even cast a simple spell to get those vermin out? You know they were having this issue around this time last year as well, right? If the owners of the inn weren't human, I'd swear they were doing this on purpose. No. You didn't have any pixies back in Lake Valerie, did you? No, I don't suppose you do, but that makes sense. Yes, I suppose going from a town that's populated by humans and humans only to one that has unicorns and centaurs and fae inhabiting the woods surrounding it must be quite jarring. But you already know my story. Why do you want me to tell it again? Don't tell me it's because you forgot. Sure, but if my love wants story time, then who am I to deny them? Come on, get comfortable. Well, as you know, Whiteoak is a place that has deep ties to the old magic. A kind of magic that is as old as the air you breathe, the water you drink, and the stars you sleep under. All manner of creatures inhabit the woods in town, which is why adorable things like yourself, who didn't grow up with these woods as your playground, should tread lightly if you ever have to traverse through the sea of trees. In any case, my ancestors were the ones who founded the town. We were nomads, traveling all across the continent in search of a place we could call home. It is said that some of my family members were blessed by the light of the full moon. They were able to, harness its power for themselves, to protect the ones they love. No. No, it's just a story, my love. But regardless, there must have been some truth in it, because they eventually chose to settle down here, where the old magic still runs deep, untouched by ill will and darkened hearts. That's why the only mythics you see around here are magical creatures who depend on the earth for all they need, and, well, that's a story for another time. There might be more to the story than I'm letting on, but the sun is setting, my love. I'd like to walk you back home. As I said, the woods are not safe for those who didn't grow up playing in them. And for a lovely little thing like yourself. Come on, let's go. I'd like to spend the evening with you before I go on my trip. My family, including my extended family, likes to get together every month for a few days just to catch up. Some of us live on the other side of the country, so it's a good way for us to catch up. Yeah, tomorrow night is the full moon. How did you know that? From my stories, huh? Well, I'm glad they interest you, but don't dwell on them too much, okay? They are just stories, after all. Real life is far more exciting, especially when this is where we live. Wouldn't you agree? Mm. You're absolutely stunning. Yes, I know you're just wearing your pajamas and your hair is all messed up after we took our naps, but still. I think I like this version of you best. Do you remember when we first met? Of course I remember. How could I forget? I remember lying out there in the meadow, like I was doing today. I remember the sun beating down my skin as I counted the amount of clouds that floated on by. I was brooding over an argument I had with my family, and all of a sudden, a face I'd never seen before appeared above me, staring down at me as if I was injured. I remember seeing that look on your face and thinking how much I wanted to make sure that expression never marked your face again. Yes, we struck up a conversation after you realized I was fine and I asked what you were doing. Trying to find fairies, you said. I wanted to laugh because none of the locals would ever dare gaze upon those creatures without an invitation, but I knew then and there that you were the one. Most of us lose the desire to seek out all of the wonders our world has to offer as we grow older. Being jaded means we lessen the likelihood of enduring unforeseen consequences, but you, in your wide-eyed glory, made me realize that the world can be a beautiful place. We just have to make it so. Stop that. Stop hiding every time I compliment you, my love. Well, whatever wounded you so deeply where you believe you are undeserving of pretty words and tender affection, I promise I'll do everything I can to patch it up. I promise you'll never doubt how much I cherish you. In my family, when we try to find our soulmates, we do our best to get it right the first time. I know it's far too soon for us to even have that discussion, but I do want you to know that I adore you so much, and it kills me to know you don't think you're deserving of it. Shh, it's alright. Yeah, I figured. I grew up in a very affectionate household. My mom and dad were always pawing after one another. And as children, my siblings and I found those public displays of affection quite insufferable, and as adults, don't get me wrong, it still is, but it's also nice. Nice to see that two people care for each other so deeply, even after all these years. If you're comfortable with it, I'd like for us to be that way too. I understand if that's not what you'd prefer, but I'll take that as a yes. No, it's late. You should get some rest. You have work in the morning, don't you? Yeah, I have to leave for my trip in the morning, too. Alright. Good night.